All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Ron Wilkerson, guys. I'm coming to you in the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot state of Texas. I want to welcome you one and all to the stream. Come on in, take your shoes off, grab a drink, relax, and get ready. Get ready, as Richard would say, get ready for some bloopers, some comedy, some live chat, some demos, some tech talk. Y'all know how we do. Yeah! I see the lovely Terry's already in the stream. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to the stream. Let's see what's going on our other platforms. Let's see if anybody's popping in yet over on YouTube. I don't see anyone over on YouTube yet. I'm sure we're going to get some people over on Facebook and TikTok and all those other platforms. But for right now, guys, we're just going to rock and roll with it as we do. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions whatsoever during any portion of the stream, feel free to drop your questions down in the comments. And as I said, Richard is in the house.
I don't care how you feel.
What it do, my friend? What it do, my friend? Yeah! Welcome to the stream. All right, Richard, what are you here for? Let us know. Are you coming in here just coming in here hot just for some bloopers? Are you coming in here for some tech talk, some demos? What's good in your world, bro? Let us know. I see Hope just says, welcome back, Richard. Hi, everyone over there on YouTube. All right, so I'm here for everything Richard says. Yeah, y'all know. If you know, you know. Okay? If you know what Richard is here for, right? All right, let me take a look at our little chat bubble here, because I see... Let me see if I can fix this while I'm thinking about it. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can fix this chat bubble. Because I see it, but it's so small. Let's see if I can make it bigger so it'll match up with all the other chat. Hold on, let me drag this out a little bit, y'all. All right, let's see if we can get that right about... Man, this mouse is not working right for me, but there we go. We'll put it about right about there. Let's lock that in place. All right. So now, Hope, if you have anything to say, it'll show up here on the chat as well. Anybody who's popping in on either YouTube or on Facebook or, again, on Instagram, not Instagram. Where are we tonight? Amazon, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. That's where we're at. Yeah. All right. Let's get to it. All right, we got a lot to get to tonight. Let's go ahead and do our camera checks real quick, make sure everything is working the way it should be. All right, we got our main camera, which is our phone camera. We have my top-down camera right here. We have our desktop view as well. So we are pretty much good to go. And yes, Richard, I decided I was going to remove that crazy transition because it was slowing me down, because it seemed like it took forever for that thing to transition from one scene to the next, and it was just really driving me nuts, because I can sit here and watch it just... Then it go to the next one. Good now, back in town. Richard's back in town. Where you been, bro? Inquiring minds would like to know, where have you been? Because a lot of people been asking me where did the Richard get off to, and I'm like, he don't be checking in with his brother like he should. You know what I'm saying? So yes, Richard, inquiring minds would like to know, where have you been? Where have you been? I can see already we have 25K likes already, and is moving up to 27K likes. Ooh, we rocking and rolling, y'all. We rocking and rolling. We're getting that party started. All right, so we're gonna be doing some laser engraving tonight. We're gonna be doing a couple of cool things, the way we normally do. So anyway, let's get right to it. Let me grab this other camera and show you guys this laser that's over here. So the first item that we have listed in the carousel, guys, is this laser. And yes, Richard, look, I have moved things around in the studio. I can't take complete credit for it. I did have some help. I had some help organizing this back shelf back here. and also cleaning up some of the area in the desk. So yeah, it looks a little bit nicer. So I moved this laser over to the other desk. You remember how chaotic this was just a couple of days ago, but I think it looks a lot better. Anyway, this is the X-Tool M1 Ultra for those who may not know. Now, this is a 4-in-1 unit. It is currently $1799.99. This unit comes with a 10-watt laser. It comes with a cutting module. It also, you will receive a print module. You'll receive a pen module. You get a set of these pens as well. So this is kind of a, I'm not gonna say it's an all-in-one, but it's definitely a 4-in-1 laser that does some amazing things. Now you guys have seen a lot of the stuff I've created with this laser over the last few months since X-Tool sent this guy out to me. It's got this nice built-in cover here that's gonna protect your eyes. You know, we got our ventilation system set up. Now, I do not have our air purifier connected to this guy yet. It's still on the other side of the room. So, yeah, there's still a few things I need to move around here in the studio just to get everything organized. But y'all know how we do. You know how we do. But anyway, on this stream tonight, guys, we're going to be focusing a little bit on some excellent tech Father's Day gifts. Now, I'm going to admit to you guys something real quick here. I don't even know when Father's Day is. So if you guys know when Father's Day is, go ahead and drop that down in the comments because I have no idea. That's one of them holidays that seems to sneak up on me every single year. But yet and still, everybody, y'all know that song. Everybody. Yeah. Everybody will let me know when Mother's Day is coming, okay? 2 holidays people will definitely be like whispering in my ear is going to be Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. I'm like, what is going on? Why is so many people, so worried about, Valentine's Day and Mother's Day? And I just be like, okay, well, I guess it is just what it is. Let me move that little text bubble down just a little bit more because I think it is just crowding a bit. There we go. All right, I think that's going to be good for now. We'll just leave it there. All right. Holy Chat is in the house. How is everyone doing? What it do, Sensei Rome? Thank you, Holy Chat, for coming in the stream. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you guys May 11th. May 11th, Mother's Day was May 11th. I didn't ask about Mother's Day, Richard. I just told you, people will not let me not know when Mother's Day is. I ask about Father's Day. Papa Day, my day, yo day. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no socks. We don't need no ties. You know what I'm saying? We need some cool things like mothers get for Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? People go all out for Mother's Day, bro. They go all out. Father's Day come around and be like, let me see. Let me just get on that Amazon and see. He needs some socks, probably some underwear. Maybe a razor, so he can shave his head. I'm like, what? Okay. No cake for me. You are mistaken, sir. You are sadly mistaken because Rome is making a cake tonight. Okay. After this stream, Rome is going to be in there in the kitchen cooking it up. Okay. I'm going to be cooking it up tonight. So I'm going to make a chocolate cake with some chocolate icing. And yes, I probably will overindulge. So I will probably be in a chocolate cake coma later. But, you might want to check in with your boy. Rome, you okay? You okay? Rome, you okay? You okay? Yeah, see, I keep referencing old songs that probably nobody knows but me. But that last one was, from Michael Jackson. Annie, if you okay. Okay, Annie, are you okay? Okay. Y'all know the song. Don't act like you don't know the song. I'll call the tow truck. What you gonna call a tow truck for, bro? What you gonna call a tow truck for? You saying you need a tow truck to move me? Don't let that camera fool you, bro. I am not as big as you think I am. I'm a little guy. I will tell you right now. But anyway, let's get to our next item. And of course, I forgot to turn the light on back here. Let me do that real quick. Here we go. Switch this light on so we can see what's going on back here. Oh shoot, I got the wrong. That's all right. I'll plug it right here. There we go. There we go. Boom. Now we got light. Boom, shakalaka. Boom, baby. Them Blue Yeti batteries is straight up fire. Okay? Okay? You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's get to our next item in the carousel, which is another laser. Now, this little laser you guys are about to see right now, I'm going to tell you the truth about it. When they reached out to me and they said, Rome, we want to send you this micro laser. And I'm like, a what? Yeah, we're going to send you this little mini laser. I'm like, you're going to send me a who? Well, why would I want that? Why in the world would I want that? Why would I want a micro laser? Okay, I'm not doing any brain surgery. Richard's not coming over. Okay, so I don't have anything small to experiment on. Because if we were going to be doing like some brain surgery on Richard, you probably need a micro laser or micro instruments, because Richard's got a little brain, big head but little brain. Okay, big head but little brain. Oh. Yes, Richard, the longer Ray 5 mini laser engraver has an extra $20 off coupon priced at $119. $119? What? Wait a minute. This is, look, for all them people every year that come at me, they come at me, Richard. They be like, but the laser pecker is like $3,000, Rome. The X tool is like $2,000, Rome. I need an alternate budget. I'm on a limited budget, bro. But I want to get some smoke in my life too. I want to make some smoke in the city too, Rome. I want to be engraving stuff like you be making for Richard, in my own home studio or whatever the case is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, well, I don't really have an option for you yet. Now, with that in mind, Longer does have some budget lasers, okay? And when I say budget, I don't mean cheap. I just mean budget, okay? Because they are very, very good at what they do and what they're designed to do, okay? So I got a couple of lasers here right now from Longer. Let me show you guys another one back here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but it is back here on this top shelf. And that one comes as a bundle. It comes with the rotary chuck. It comes with the slide extension, and of course the 12-watt laser. That's all in one bundle. But that's a lot. It takes up a lot of space. I get that. The laser pecker takes up a lot of space too, but not in the grand scheme of things, right? I mean, honestly, it's not a big laser. So if we even look back here at the older laser, like the LP4 back there, that thing is not taking up a ton of space, guys. But when I tell you we got a small, tiny laser, boom, check it out. Check it out, okay? This thing, hold on, let me get this camera set up, y'all. Let me get this camera set up for y'all. Let me tilt that down a little bit so y'all can see this thing. All right, there we go. All right. Let me get something to measure this with. All right. Ooh, that thing is so dirty, y'all. Ooh, my ruler is just dirty. Okay, let me get with it. Okay, so here's my ruler. And this is a 12-inch ruler. And as you guys can see here, this thing is 10 inches by 11 inches. So it's 10 inches by 11 inches, okay? That is tiny, bro. That is tiny. I'm just gonna leave this right there because I don't want to have to keep looking for it. All right, so what we're gonna be doing tonight, we're gonna open up a light burn and we're gonna run some experimental projects on this guy. Now, we will be powering this with these Blue Yeti batteries. So as you guys can see back here, here's a couple of the Blue Yeti batteries that we're going to be using. We have both of them in the carousel tonight. What is going on with this gimbal? All right, so we got both of these batteries in the carousel tonight. So if you guys want to check those out, you can check them out in the carousel. I will be talking about them more in detail. I'll give you a quick little preview. One of them is $149 and the other one is $189. They are very similar in their features, but I'm actually using one of them right now to power this laser. So like I told you guys before, yes, these batteries are more than enough to do some, heavy lifting, guys, heavy lifting. All right, so let's get this set up again so that we can get to work. Let me drag Lightburn over to my other window so you guys can see what we're doing here. All right, and let me adjust this camera. All right, there we go. So you guys can see the laser now. All right, so where this laser differs from other lasers is that it doesn't have some of the similar features like the autofocus. It doesn't have the ability to lower it every few steps or something like that. If you wanted to, bring it down to a lower level every pass or something like that, because you're basically locking in the focus whenever you focus this guy, okay? But yet and still, like I said, it is a very good laser, and that's what we're gonna test tonight. I'm gonna show you guys everything that we can do with this. And I just highlighted Richard's last comment, which is talking about the discount right now. You're getting an extra $20 off of this laser, and I'm gonna try to prove that this laser is a worthwhile investment. Okay, so we have a few materials here. I'm gonna show you guys what we got. Okay, so because this is only a 2.5 watt laser, there is a 3.5 version of this as well. So we have some paper, okay? We have, which looks, I think it's some metal business cards. Let me check. All right. Yep, we got a couple of metal business cards. And no, Richard, I will not be using all of them because I want to save some of them. So we'll use one of the metal business cards. Richard's greedy like that. He want me to use up everything, y'all. He be wanting me to use up everything. And let me find some wood. We have some 3mm basswood. This is a single piece of wood, so we have that as well. And let's see if we have anything else. Well, that's probably going to be enough. That's going to be enough to get it started. Now, one of the things that I do like about Lunger's lasers is that they have been really smart when it comes to providing information on the lasers, how to set them up. Now, I did go through some challenges. I'm going to admit it. I admit it. Every time there's an issue with any product, I'll let you guys know up front. I did have an issue with the laser, getting it to connect to my MacBook. But once I figured out what the issue was, it was smooth sailing from there on. I did a video on it. If you guys have any questions related to it, hit your boy up. I'll walk you right through it any way I can. If you go ahead and get this laser for yourself, or for a significant other, or somebody for Father's Day, whatever the case is going to be, I'm all about it. Y'all know, we try to share the knowledge, guys. Share the knowledge. All right, so we're going to be working with paper here. So let me find the power for the paper. So on this, it says 90% power and a speed of 5,000 is what we want for engraving on paper. So it doesn't say cutting paper. So what is the cut for paper? Let me see if there's a cut for paper. Wood. I don't see a cut for paper, but I'm sure we could cut this paper because we can definitely cut wood, because I was actually able to cut some wood with this a couple days ago. And Richard, you know what you're going to be surprised at, Richard? This little laser is ultra quiet and it does not really generate a lot of smoke. That's been my experience with it. Now, will that be exactly what happens tonight? Time will tell. Time will tell. But let's get to it. Let's make some stuff happen. All right, so let me open Lightburn here. And since we're doing Father's Day, I'm going to go ahead and just grab a Father's Day graphic. First, let me make sure I am connected to the laser. So I got to turn it on. And what do we got here? Oh, I got to turn the power on this other battery. Hold on, y'all. Okay. See if we can power it up. I might have to switch batteries here. Let me see. Nope. I got it. I'm using a different battery for this laser right now, so let me switch it over. Okay, so the laser is on, and let me switch over here so you guys can see what's going on. So I'm going to send it to home, and wait first, let me make sure I am connected to it. All right, so it went back to home, just like the other lasers do. Let me make sure I'm giving you guys a good some good video of this little laser. Let me see if I can position this camera directly in front of it and turn it right about, oops, too far. There we go. Okay. So now you guys should be able to see everything that I'm doing here. All right. So we are connected. I'm gonna move the laser around the bed a little bit just so you guys can see how easy it is to move the laser to wherever you want it to move. I'm just using a feature inside of Lightburn, and I'll show you guys what that looks like as well. So I can pretty much just move this anywhere I want to by just clicking on the screen. And let's pop over here to the desktop so I can show you how I'm doing it. So this little tool right here, which is your positioning tool, and I can just click on this work area. So this is going to give us our exact work area for the laser. So it's 130 by 140, which is the dimensions of the laser. Okay, so anything within that circumference, I can just send the laser to wherever I want it to be. So if I want it to be right there, simple enough. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is going to be some paper. So I'm going to bring in a graphic here real quick, and let's do something that we've already done so we don't have to go and reinvent the wheel. Let's go to my downloads, and let me find something to engrave on some paper. All right, let's try this little angel. Woo, that thing is big. You see how big that angel is? Okay, let's see if we can zoom out. And I can resize this. See if I can resize this real quick so that it fits. And I just flipped it somehow. There we go. Okay, there's our angel. And let's zoom in so everybody can see what's going on. Okay, so there's our angel. And what we want to do here, first I want to make sure this is a transparency. All right, there we go. Now, this paper... Let me grab my caliber, and let's go to our top down here real quick, and let me show you guys the caliber and how I use this. Now with these type of lasers, there's a little bit more involved as far as like measuring and everything. So one of the things you have to do, so this piece of paper right here is 108 by, I'm pretty sure it's going to be 108 by 108, but let's just measure it. So it is 108 by 108, so that's the square of this paper. So that's the size that we want to make, to draw this on here, okay? So let's go back over, and we're gonna go ahead and make this, and we're gonna come up here to our width, and we're just gonna make this, let's make it 90 millimeters. So 90 millimeters in the height, and 90 millimeters in the width. Okay, so that's kind of squared. There we go, you guys can see that. So we got it squared right now, and it's coming in as an image. So let me see what the power is on this guy. So I think that's going to be too much power and not enough speed. So let me check my measurements again. Like I said, this is a new laser to me. So we're dealing with paper here. So this craft paper is 90% power and a speed of 5,000. That's what we're going for, a speed of 5,000, and what do we say? 90% power. Okay, so let's go back up here. So we have 90% power. Let's just make this a speed of 5,000. I think let's do 4,500 just in case. So we're going to bring that down a little bit to 4,500. DPI is good. There's something else that I wanted to change here. Let me go back there real quick, and I think it's going to be our line intervals. So our line interval should be 0.05. Okay, so let's go back. And 0.06 is what this is right now, but we're going to make it 0.05. Okay, there we go. That gives us a DPI of 508. We're still running this on Jarvis. And then we can just go, okay, that's what we want. So now if we go up here and click on the preview, we can kind of see what this is going to look like, right? So I don't want it to be, you know, a complete engraving of the whole thing. So I want it to be more like an outline. So I'm going to go here to trace and see if we can just trace this guy. Let's do trace. And there's our little angel. Let's see if we can get a little bit better trace on this. Let's see. This is not going to be perfect. I can tell you guys right now. I'm just trying to get a, nope, that's not going to be good. Okay, let's do clear boundaries, and yeah, that's not going to come out the way I want it to. We'll just run it the way it is. That's fine. That's fine. We just cancel that. All right, so we're going to run this, and let's just make sure of our positioning. I'm going to send our tool over here. And then let's take our paper and put this under the laser. All right, so let me switch back over so you guys can see what's going on. So there's our paper. Let's go ahead and frame this up and see where this is going to fall. All right, so I see a problem already. Let me fix that. Okay, let's go back a little bit. All right, let's grab, oops, let's go back there. And let's grab this guy here. And let's see if we can frame this up. Let's try to frame this up. Oops, I done moved the paper, y'all. I done moved the paper. Hold on. All right. Let's see if this is gonna work. For some reason, this feels backwards to me, but we'll see. Yeah, it is backwards. Okay. So that means that needs to be about right there. And let's run this one more time. All right. Okay. Okay. That can happen. All right. So let's let me grab my laser glasses because obviously you got to have eye protection when you're working with one of these lasers. Where's my cool glasses? Hold on. Let me find my other ones. All right. There we go. So I got my cool ones here. Let me clean these off because these things got a lot of smoke and fingerprints. All right, here we go. Woo. Okay, we got the cool ones on now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got the cool ones on right now. All right, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. Wear your glasses. Wear your safety glasses. All right. So let's go back over here, and we're gonna start this job. We're gonna start this job. Let me check the comments real quick. Make sure I ain't missing nothing, because you know you guys always got something funny to say. So let me see. Let me see what's happening here. Let me grab my reading glasses. So we just have Richard posting things here. Thank you, Richard, for posting all of my social media there as well. And a shout out on TikTok. Shout out to all on viewers over on TikTok. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for stopping in. All right, so yeah, if you guys are over on those other platforms and you're a little confused at what's going on, you need to come over to Amazon. You can get here by going to romeknowstech.live. It'll bring you right to the Amazon page. You'll be able to see the carousel underneath, all the different products that we're talking about, including this laser right now. But anyway, we're going to try and run this job on this piece of paper. So I have my laser glasses on, and I'm going to just go ahead and hit start. And I'll tell you guys here in a second how long this is supposed to take. All right, what is it saying here? Hold on. You might be out of bounds. Okay, that's possible. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Let's try that. See what it thinks about that. All right, he's gonna put that right there, and then I'm gonna run the frame one more time. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it. Let's just go ahead and run it. See if it'll run it this time. Okay, it's still telling me we might be out of bounds. So let me move this to here. All right, and let me check the paper. All right, there's our paper. And I'm gonna slide over. There we go. Okay, let's see what we get now. Let's try to run it again. Let's see if it tells me I'm still out of bounds. And I'm just gonna go yes. All right, it's gonna start engraving. Let me get you guys a little bit closer. Let's tilt this camera down so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not seeing a lot of anything, but it is engraving. It is engraving onto the paper. But remember, we went with a high speed on this guy, so it's not gonna give us the really dark engraving on this, and especially not like some of my other lasers, because this one is, again, it's only a 2-watt laser. I need to find some of my weights. I want to make sure that paper doesn't move, but we'll see. All right, so let's see how much time it's supposed to take for this to be complete. Let me grab my glasses. Oh my goodness. This is going to take 14 minutes, y'all. It's going to take 14 minutes. 14 minutes. All right, so I guess I could just talk about some other stuff while this thing is engraving, because like I said, don't expect this thing to be super fast, guys. It's a $119 laser, okay, but it will get the job done. I mean, this is not going to be, something you use for commercial jobs, but it will get the job done. All right, so the next item we want to take a look at that's listed in the carousel is going to be these 2 batteries over here. So we have 2 entries from Blue Yeti. We have our AC2A, which is our top battery here. This is going to be an excellent battery for camping, for emergency situations. You have AC and DC power. This is a 300-watt battery. It has an integrated handle on the top, as you guys can see there. You have your one AC plug right here in the front of this guy. You also have a 12-volt plug in this as well. I see Alan DeBay is in the house. What it do, fam? What it do? Alan DeBay's in the house. Welcome to the stream. And then the second battery, also from Blue Yeti, is the this model that you guys see right here, which is our EB3A, which has a few other features, so it's worth the upgrade. Now, this is an older version, but this one comes with the camping light. It has the Qi charger, wireless charger, integrated handle. You also have AC and DC power delivery, 12 volt. All of these batteries, guys, can be charged off a universal 3-prong plug or a solar panel. So these are going to be very compact batteries that you can travel with. Put them in your RV, your cabin, your man cave, your she shed, your living room. If the power goes out for some reason, you are going to be covered. Richard says the AC2A is 32% off right now. That's a savings of $70, which brings it down to $149. And then we have our EB3A, which is also at $189. I'm pretty sure if there's a coupon for that one, Richard's going to eventually drop it down into the comments as well. My man Alan DeBay is in the house. If you guys do not know who Alan DeBay is, he is a professional storyteller, comedian extraordinaire. If you're not following Alan and Richard over on TikTok, you're missing out. Also, you can follow Alan on YouTube, on Facebook, and a few other platforms. But yeah, they're always creating a lot of amazing content. So, you never know who you're going to see in one of my streams. We get the occasional celebrity in here like Alan DeBay. Richard says the Blue Yeti EB3A has 30% off as well, which is an $80 savings, which brings it down to $189. That's what I think it said. It was $189, Richard. All right, so let's see where we are on our print. So this is going to be real dark. I can tell y'all right now it's going to be real dark, but I think it's going to be very photorealistic. But we'll see what the end result looks like at the end. I'm just going to go ahead and tilt this down for a second so you guys can keep looking at that while I set up the next products for us to talk about. And, and you know what's funny to me? I was telling somebody just the other day that I used to take my 3D printer and I would go live with my 3D printer, and people would watch on TikTok the 3D printer just going back and forth, back and forth. I wouldn't even be saying anything in the streams. I just have music playing, and then the 3D printer just be doing what it's doing. I could probably do the same thing with one of these lasers. I bet there would be people that would just literally sit and watch the laser just going back and forth. Maybe not this laser, but you know, perhaps a different laser. All right, so we got some Ozbot cameras that we're gonna take a look at here real quick. So let me go ahead and pop over here real fast, and let me grab one of these cameras. All right, guys, so the first Ozbot camera we're going to take a look at is this guy right here. Now, this is one of the newest cameras from Ozbot. This is the Ozbot Tail 2. You guys can see that. This is a PTZ-R camera. So what that means is, like a lot of the other cameras, if you want to do things like Instagram and TikTok, you take a camera like this and you would mount it on its side like so that you'll be able to get, you know, the full 4K video, if that's what you're streaming. I don't know anybody that's streaming in 4K because most platforms don't support anything more than 1080p. But anyway, if you wanted the full frame, you know, in the normal portrait orientation, you would have to turn the camera like this. But this camera, you don't have to do that because it has an internal mechanism that allows it to rotate inside and switch from portrait to landscape, okay? Let's take this down to the desk and take a closer look at this little camera. Now, the camera with some of the other accessories as a bundle, I'm going to show you guys all of those. Right now, it is $22.58.15 for the entire bundle. But let's go down to the desk real quick here, and I'm going to show you guys everything that comes with it. So you're going to get this camera right here. You will also receive this. This is the Ozbot Talent, which is basically a 4-in-1 streaming device. This is let me go ahead and turn this guy on. This is going to be your encoder, your streaming device. It's going to be your monitor, all of that jazz. You can live stream directly from this, which is really cool. Let me go ahead and turn this camera on as well so we can get them to connect. Now, I can connect these wirelessly, and you have two options, technically three, but the two options you have to connect these guys is through either NDI or SRT. SRT is like NDI, but it's a free open source way of doing it. So now, once these cameras are connected, you'll actually be able to go in here, just like with OBS, and you can have, you know, startup screens. You can have your for instance, your different graphical overlays, countdown timers, all of that stuff. And if I click right here, you guys can see now you're seeing what the camera sees on the screen, and it is wireless, guys. I mean, if I put something like our little blue muffin right here in front, you guys can see it right there. And obviously it doesn't have to be this close. I'm just putting it this close so that you guys can see, see what I'm doing with it. But what's amazing about these devices, it kind of levels the playing field for anybody who wants to do content. Yes, Richard, STR, secure, reliable transport. Thank you. And you can go in, you can do picture-in-picture. You have your audio interface with this guy. You can plug in a microphone like what I'm using right now, which is the Rodecaster Pro 2, which is your audio interface. And I'm also using the Rode Procaster microphone. And yes, you can plug that in right here. You have line in, mic in, headphone jack. You have USB A right here, your power button on this side. Underneath, you have your 12-volt 1.5 amp, and It comes with that plug, but you can also power this off of Sony MPF batteries. You have UVC out. That means you can connect this to a computer and use this just as a switcher if you wanted to use OBS and just use this as your switcher. You have a quarter 20 here for mounting it. You also have a full-size SD card. You have Ethernet on this side. You also have 2 HDMI inputs, 1 additional USB-A input on this side. And here is our screen, as I said before. So you can easily control this. You also have a bunch of different graphics that you can bring in. You have, you have titles, you have lower thirds, you have animated text, you have analog clocks, you have digital clock, you have bullet points, you have social media bugs on here as well. You can bring in logos, you have scoreboards. So if you're into sports and things like that, you can set up a scoreboard. You have your timers, a lot of things built in. You have stopwatch, that you can have going on during your stream. You can bring in web graphics as well and also customize stuff. So say for instance, I wanted to bring in this web graphic here. And now we have a lower third with a little clock up here at the top. And this is what somebody would see during the stream. Obviously, they're going to hear audio coming off of whatever microphone I'm connected to. But I'm going to grab this camera and I'm going to move it over toward the laser just so you guys can see how well this does. All right. So now I have it positioned over toward the laser, and you guys should be able to see that right there. Let me grab the remote that also comes in this bundle, which is this little guy right here. And let me switch this on. Now, with this remote, you can connect to up to 3 cameras and have 3 presets. You can have people tracking. You have a laser pointer. So if you wanted to point something out on a bulletin board or something like that, you can do that. You also have pet tracking. So if you want to track your crazy cat or dog or bird or Richard running around, you can do that. You have a joystick control right here. So right now I can adjust the camera and make sure I'm on the right camera. I can raise or lower. Let me show you guys here. I can raise or lower the camera. I can pan to the left. I can pan to the right with this remote, and I'll show you guys that in real time. I can bring this back to the center if I want to, and I can also utilize presets. So if I have any presets already set up, all I have to do is hit one of those presets, like right there, just zoomed in, hit the second preset, and now it's looking over toward the other part of the desk. This other preset here is going to be a close-up to something else that's on the desk. Now, these presets are set up based on things that I've already used the camera for. So because I moved the camera, the presets are not relevant to whatever it is that I'm pointing at. But I'll show you guys that as well. So let me move this guy a little bit further out here in front and reposition our camera so you guys can see it. All right, so let's switch over to our iPhone view. Let's bring this camera down a little more so you guys can see what's going on with this guy. All right, so now if I use my remote control, which is this remote right here, I can just hit one of those presets and it's gonna turn to wherever I want the preset to look, like so. I can also zoom in and zoom out with this little tele-rocker that you see right here. So this, guys, is a part of an all-in-one bundle for live streamers, content creators, whatever the case it may be. I think for a lot of people, this is going to be an excellent, excellent piece of kit. So if you guys are into any type of gaming, live streaming, DIY things, anything like that, let me know down in the comments what you would use a device like this for. Now, what's cool about the mother device, which is the Ozbot Talent, is that you can use this with a variety of different cameras, okay? So you're not just limited to, what you see right here. Let me see what Richard is saying here. We got 50K likes. Yeah! All right, Richard, that's how we do. New viewers. Shout out Hello Kitty over on TikTok. What it do, Hello Kitty? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for checking in. And also, let me fix our text over here on Amazon and other places again, because it seems to be our YouTube is just too high up. So I'm going to bring that over a little bit again and see if that's a better place for it. All right, so anyway, as I was saying, so with these cameras, guys, a lot of this gear that we have here, these are things, yes, all of these things were sent out to me by different brands because I live stream and I talk about tech and I'm a photographer, videographer, and they want me to review these items, talk about these items, and of course, feature these items to you guys as well. And that's what I try to do in every single stream so that I can offer you guys a real world opinion on how this tech works, okay? So like I said, you can connect a variety of different cameras to this. Now, the other cameras that are available to it, there are other cameras that are similar, but here are some small portable cameras that's going to be really good for this as well. Now, these will also work with your Mac, your PC. It'll work with, you know, some tablets like the iPad. They have two versions of this camera. They have a 1080p version, which is this one right here, and you have a 4K version of it as well. The 1080p version is $84 right now. Okay, this is also a PTZ camera. That means it can pan, tilt, and zoom. It can track you. It has all of the similar features of a lot of the other cameras that you guys have probably seen me talk about before. This one also has a built-in little mount so that you could easily mount this onto a monitor. It has a 1/4 underneath. So if you want to use like a light stand or a tripod or anything like that, you know, to set this up on a desk. This could also be mounted as a top-down camera. So you got a lot of flexibility, guys, when it comes to the different types of cameras that are available for you. These all will make amazing Father's Day gifts, guys. Father's Day gifts. I'm just looking here on my desk and I just noticed something. Richard, I got to tell you about this. So this is this is one of the strobes that I got a long time ago from LumaCube. And this is for a drone. This just fits on top of the drone and it just strobes, you know, in the air if you're doing night flights or whatever. So I gave Adam from Anchor one of my old drones because Adam does a lot of fireworks, okay? So I was like, Adam, you know, I sent Adam a message last week because I wanted to find this thing and I could not find it, right? And I was like, maybe I bet I know what I did. I probably put this thing in that case that I sent Adam the drone in. He probably hasn't even noticed it or whatever it is. And I'm like, man, I need that back. So Adam, I'm trying to reach out to Adam because I'm like, Adam, I need you, bro. I need you to send me back. I need you to send me back this little strobe, right? And he's like looking in the box and, you know, he's messaging me back. He's like, Rome, I don't have no idea what you're talking about, bro. I do not see anything that even closely resembles what it is that you're talking about. And that's how much mess there was back here on this shelf. Because the minute we started organizing and putting things in boxes and putting things away, I found it. I literally found it back there on the shelf. It was in a box, just sitting in a box, you know. And I haven't used this thing in almost 2 years. And I was like, man, I'm never going to find that thing again. And this thing, when it first came out, these were like $70, guys, you know, because the FAA requires nighttime drone flights, you know, whether you're using them commercially or not, you know, to have a collision strobe on them. So I was at the point I was about to buy a new drone strobe. I was like, I shouldn't have to, but I got to. So yes, poor Adam. Yes, I was at him, bro. I was like sending him all kind of crazy messages. Adam was like, what? You want me to, what? Bro, I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, I bet he got that strobe. He just don't want to give it back. That's what it is. He got it, don't want to give it back. And then I found it. So, you know, don't accuse people, y'all. Don't accuse people. Be a good person. Be a good human, okay? Anyway, let's get back over here to what I was talking about before we got distracted, because y'all know I easily get distracted. Squirrel, what? Anyway, so this little bundle right here, guys, is going to be excellent for live streaming, for gaming, for your church, your school, your side hustle, whatever the case is going to be. This thing has a ton of features. You can also bring in pre-recorded content. You can, you know, using web links, you can also bring in live guests through this device. So it just has a ton of features. So definitely check this out, guys, from our friends over at Ozbot. I am a huge fan of this. And I got some upcoming streams where we're going to be on location. And I don't know if you guys caught the video I did a couple of weeks ago when I was flying my drone out in the backyard. The drone was connected, the controller was connected to the Ozbot Talent, and that's how I was able to stream what was going on the drone with this guy right here. Now, I just did my hand like this, so I just put my other camera into tracking mode. So every time I put my palm up like this, I'm driving my camera crazy. So now it's probably tracking me. Yep, see? That camera right there, I call it Richard. That camera's named Richard because it's constantly tracking me everywhere I go. Even when I try to hide, the camera be following me. It'd be like trying to peep me out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying I'm calling Richard out, okay? I'm not saying I'm calling Richard out, okay? But there have been some occasions when I'm out in the backyard, you know, doing, you know, what you do in the backyard. You know, I'm out there raking or something, and I look up, and there's Richard over the fence. What you doing, Ron? What you over there doing? What you got in your hand? What's for dinner, Ron? Did you make a cake? I heard you made some red beans and rice the other night, Ron. How did that come out? I was like, let me get the hose. I got to get the hose, because sometimes you got to just hose Richard down to get him off the fence. Okay, sometimes you just got to hit him with some cold water to get him to back up. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes that's just what you got to do. All right, let's see what's going on. 60K likes. Yeah! You know why we got 60K likes, Richard?
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Are you pondering what I'm pondering? Is because we got so many people hanging out on all the different platforms. And, you know, we love having everybody in. Like Lauren is in here right now. Welcome, Lauren. Welcome to the stream. Yeah! All right, so let's get back over to our laser and let's see what it is doing, because we almost forgot about this thing. And I got distracted. All right, so we are engraving right now on just a piece of paper, and we're almost done. We're almost done. So I think this is going to come out really well. We shall see. You know, time will tell. We got a few more minutes left in, let's see how much time we got left. Looks like we got about 5 minutes left for it to be complete. So while that's doing what it's doing, let's talk about this other camera that I use pretty much on a daily basis, which is this camera right here. This is the Osmo Pocket 3. That's this guy right here. Now, this is also a PTZ camera. It has a built-in screen. Let's go ahead and pop that on so you guys can see. And it's probably going to turn back here and face me. No, it's facing in the other direction. So let me switch it around so it's facing me. Okay, come on, camera. Work with me now. Work with me. You're embarrassing me in front of the peoples. In front of the peoples, okay? All right, so there we go. So now the camera should be tracking me. There you go. But anyway, this is a camera, guys, that I use almost every single day. This is a 4K, 60 frames a second, you know, PTZ camera with the built-in screen. You have, you know, tracking modes, and the bundle also comes with a Bluetooth microphone. This is the DJI Mic 2. Which, you know, you can use this microphone with a number of different things. You can, you know, pair this up with your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever. But it comes in the bundle. And I have this little cage on here that has a magnet on the back. And I just usually just keep these two paired together like that when I'm not using it, so I can easily find the microphone whenever I'm ready to create something new. But yeah, the design is excellent. It has a built-in gimbal. This is going to be a great camera for anybody that's out there doing news gathering or just creating content. Now, again, remember, this is not an action camera, so you can't get this wet. You can't go, you know, jumping off of cliffs and riding rhinoceroses, and you can't be out there rollerblading like Richard do, just whipping all around. You know, I mean, you probably could to a degree, because you guys see how the gimbal just kind of stays in place, but it's not going to be as rugged as something like a GoPro. But when it comes to the quality of video, this thing is state of the art, guys. It is very, very high quality video, and you even have a log mode with this camera. So you have like a Most of our professional cameras have some type of log mode. That means an unsaturated mode that you can then go in and add your own saturation and color and all that kind of stuff. And it does have one of those modes. I rarely use it with this little camera, but I do use that with some of my bigger, more professional cameras. But, you know, needless to say, this is a wonderful camera. Now, right now, this camera is $979, guys, $979. But it comes with everything that you need. It comes with a little protective case, all of that kind of jazz. I use this thing almost every single morning. Now that I've rearranged the studio, I have this usually set up now on top of this other laser so that it's facing me toward this back wall back here. And I can do, you know, the intro to different videos that I'm working on or whatever the case is going to be. Or if I'm doing Zoom calls, you can plug this in and use it as a webcam as well. So it's got a lot of potential and really easy to operate. It does take an SD card, so you're able to record directly to it or connect this to another device like the Talent, a YOLO box, a MacBook, a PC, and record to that device and record internally at the same time. Guys, I'm telling you, it's a win. And you also have the ability to record in either portrait or landscape. So if I rotate the screen back to its normal position, now it's going to be recording in portrait, like for Instagram or for TikTok or something like that. So it's a win. All right, let me go ahead and power this guy off real quick, and you guys can see what it does when it turns off. It just kind of folds up like that. Yeah, it's a win. It's a win. All right. You mean now that you picked up and cleaned your studio, Richard says. What we talking about? What we talking about, Richard? What we talking about? What's wrong with my studio? It's okay. I ain't fooling nobody. Anybody that's been watching this stream for a while knows how crazy and how much stuff is in this space, okay? I mean, you don't even want to look at what's under the desk, all right? And you definitely don't want to look at what's behind the desk because there is a jungle of cables behind this desk. Man, look, I have no interest whatsoever in relocating this studio to any other place in the house because it is literally so many cables back there. I don't care if I took photos or videos, I would almost never get those cables to go back the way they're supposed to. So no. Richard know what I'm talking about. He's seen some photos. Richard has seen behind this desk, okay? Richard knows. Richard knows things, y'all. Richard know things. That's all I can tell y'all. Richard know things. All right, let's go back over here to our little laser. It has completed. So let's go ahead and grab our little piece of paper here and show you guys what that looks like. So that's what the laser just did. Let's go ahead and take this over to our desktop and take a closer look at it. All right, so here is the first thing that you guys have seen me create with this laser. Now, it did get hot in a couple of spots where it was kind of burning through. I can show y'all guys that. You can see where it almost cut through the paper. And I mean, that wasn't the idea for it to cut through the paper, but it almost cut through the paper in a few sections. But that just lets you know if you wanted to cut this out, you could have just done an outline and you would be able to cut it out with maybe a second pass just on the outline of it. But I still think this came out really nice. I don't remember who picked this angel before, but just on a standard piece of paper. There we go. All right, so we have some other materials. So let's pop back over here real quick and let's grab something else. So let's cut something. So let's test its cutting capabilities. So I'm gonna put this little piece of wood down there and I need to focus the laser. So let me find the focus block and I'll show you guys how you focus this laser, okay? So it comes with this little piece of acrylic that you're gonna place between the laser and the material that you're going to be cutting. That's how you focus this laser, where the other ones have like a more mechanical way of focusing, but this is how you focus this guy. All right, so let me show you how that works. Take off those headphones. All right, so all you're gonna do is undo this little knob here on the side, and you're going to raise up the laser, and you're just going to let it fall down on top of the material like that. It's just going to fall down on the material like so. And then all you have to do at that point is tighten down this little knob right here. Just, it don't have to be gorilla tight, just tight enough. And then you can slide that little piece of acrylic out from underneath it. And now your laser is in focus. All right, so let's just go ahead and move this wood around. Right about there is a good spot. And we're going to find something to engrave and to also cut out. All right, so let's pick something different this time. Let me see how much time we have left on the stream. How many items do we have? Okay, we don't have too many, so we're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and grab. Let's go to our desktop here real quick. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of our little angel. So the angel is out. Let's get rid of the angel, and we're going to bring something else in here. So first things first, I'm going to send the laser to home so it knows where home is. And then I'm going to find another graphic, and then we're going to bring it in. So let me go to, let's see here. Let me go to my Finder, and all right, so let me find something to engrave. So I engraved, I don't want something that's going to take forever, y'all. So let's see what we can come up with. I did this Minotaur. I did this Minotaur the other day for Renee, and I was thinking about doing the Minotaur, but I think we need to try something else. If you guys got an idea of an image, or maybe we'll just do something for Father's Day. Let me just bring in the Father's Day graphic, and we'll just use that. So there we go. So there's our Father's Day graphic. Let's zoom out and quickly resize this. Down, 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 down. There we go. And we're going to need to make it smaller, but that's fine. Right about there. And let's zoom in so you guys can see it. So there's our, I'm going to move this to the center right about there. And then I'm going to move the laser to one corner right here. And we're going to engrave this onto the wood, okay? So first things first, let's go back over to our cut layer and see what our power settings are here for this wood, so engraving it. All right, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna look at our basswood. It says 90% power and a speed of 25 is what we're going for, okay? A speed of 2,500. Somebody write that down, somebody remind me, speed of 2,500. Okay, so, okay, I can remember that. So 2,500 is our speed. Power is 90. This will stay the same right here. Jarvis will stay the same as well. So we're going to engrave this guy, and then we want to cut it out, okay? So I want to grab a shape and draw the shape around this like that. And then that's going to be our line. So the line is going to be 100% power. Let me show you guys here. 100% power, a speed of 100, which is relatively slow. And we're going to do, let's do 3 passes. Let's do 3 passes on that. And no kerf, no other offsets. Everything else is pretty much the same as we see it. We don't have an air assist or anything like that, so we don't have to turn that on. We have to worry about that. So we're just going to run this. All right, so let me switch back over so you guys can see what's going on, and let's see if we can frame this up. Okay, that looks too big. Let me see. I might have to make it smaller. I may have to make the whole thing smaller because, yeah, I'm gonna have to make the whole thing smaller. So let me just group, oops, hold on. Yeah, we'll have to make it smaller because we don't have that much wood. So I'm gonna grab the whole thing and just make it smaller. And then we're gonna frame it up again. right, I can't see it. So let me get a little bit closer. I'm just gonna move this wood down a little bit. I can't see it that well from the angle that I'm sitting at, so I have to move it down so I can see it. All right, so let's try that one more time. Let's go ahead and frame it up. All right, there we go. That's good enough. So we're going to go ahead and engrave it, and then we're going to cut it out using this 2.5 watt laser. Again, I think this is going to be an excellent laser, guys, for a Father's Day gift or something like that. It's very budget friendly. If you guys missed the price on this guy, just pop back up and you can see what it is. Audio interface. What are we talking about, Richard? Audio interface. I haven't got to the audio interface yet, Richard. I'm going to be talking about the Anker M650 wireless microphones here in a second after I start this laser up. So let's go ahead and hit start. All right, so it's going to start to engrave. We're going to let that go ahead and just do its thing. Do its thing, babies. And let me find our microphones. Now that I've cleaned everything up, I can't find nothing. I don't know where anything is now. Okay, there it is. I see them. I see them. All right. So yeah, now that I've cleaned everything up, I can't find anything, y'all. All right, anyway. So these are the microphones that we're talking about right now. These are from our friends over at Anker. These are the Anker M650 wireless microphones. These guys can transmit up to 600 feet. You get two omnidirectional microphones. You get a audio interface with these guys that allows you to connect it directly to a device. You can connect this to an iPhone or Android device using USB-C. It also has a lightning adapter as well. And of course, you can plug this in with a 3.5 cable. So if you wanted to plug this into a camera, or if you have an old phone that still has, a headphone jack, you could use that. Not this cable. There's actually a special cable you need if you're going to be plugging this into the phone. But this is the cable you would use if you were planning on plugging this into, say, a standard camera, okay, into the camera's audio. But, it comes with the cable. It comes with the little dead cats, for wind noise. It also has these really cool little clips that come together here with the rare earth magnets. And these are standard clips. You can still clip these onto a shirt, blouse, or whatever it is. If you're wearing one of them wife beater t-shirts and you're out in the park flying your drone and you want to record yourself, you just clip this onto one of the little shoulder straps and then just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you do. And then the case itself is also the charger case. So it charges the microphones, the receiver, the whole 9 yards, guys. You can get this right now here on Amazon for $179.99. $179.99. All right, so I'm assuming Richard is talking about the audio interface. So let me grab that so we can talk about that for a second. So the audio interface is from our friends over at Nearstream. And let me find it. I move so many things, man. I have no idea what I did with it. But it was literally right here yesterday, okay? So now I got to find the thing. And I'm like, where did it go? And I got to be careful because I have to be cautious because Richard is looking for bloopers. So I have to be cautious, okay? But I don't see it on the back table. And of course I see it over there. I see it over there on the shelf. So now I know where it's at. All right, so let me go get it. Let me go get it. Let me go ahead and switch you guys down to the desk. And let me take off my headphones real quick and run over and grab it. All right, I got it. All right, here we go. So this is the audio. Stop it, Richard. This is the audio interface that I'm talking about right here. So this guy is going to be great for travel. It does have an internal battery. You have your UVC connection here, so you're going to connect this to a Mac or PC. You can also plug in a set of headphones here with a 3.5 input. You can also bring in other 3.5 inputs here, and that can be for music, for a phone or other devices. On the back here, you guys can see you can take a full-size XLR cable into this. It does provide phantom power for my musicians out there, or even a DJ. You can plug in your XLR right in here as well. So you got a lot of flexibility with this guy. It is battery powered, so just charge it up, you know, do your little DJ show. You have your sound effects, you have a de-esser on here, you have your headphone gain control right here, you have your other gain controls along here. Very compact, very travel friendly. This is a perfect device, guys, to pair up with something like a YOLO box or the Talent. You guys can see they're almost about the same size. So you could have this set up on a little small compact desk with multiple cameras, you know, a really good audio source coming into this guy, and you'll be able to stream the whole thing, record the whole thing. This is just going to be a win for a lot of people creating content. We got 80K likes. Yeah! 80K likes, my babies. All right, guys, right now this device is $79 for my friends over at Nearstream. Okay, so I'm going to also show you guys a little bit about the studio and how I have the studio currently set up. Now I have, you know, things set up here in the studio so I can separate the living room from this studio space. This space I'm in right now was traditionally my dining room. My original studio used to be upstairs in one of my spare bedrooms, but I needed more space. Plus I was using lasers upstairs back then, and I was having a problem with ventilation, so there was a lot of smoke in the city. Okay, there was some smoke upstairs. So I came downstairs thinking I'd have more ventilation and more room, which, you know, has accommodated, but, you know, I still have to, you know, block off a lot of things. So when I'm doing videos and stuff, you're not looking at my TV or my living room or my couch or whatever. But I'll show you guys what that looks like. Now, one of the things that makes it really easy for me to be able to do this is this backdrop that I'm about to show you. Now, this was sent to me by Robe. They sent this to me probably about 2 years ago. And you guys can see I have a couple of green screens here. I have a smaller green screen right here behind my desk, a larger green screen that's like, you know, large enough for, you know, a couple of people off to the side of the desk. And then I have this black screen right here that I use kind of as a backdrop. So when I'm doing like shoppable videos, or I want to just throw some light back there and really dress everything up, you know, this is the way I've been setting everything up. And then recently, let's see if I can turn this around. Recently, I've been setting up for my videos kind of a facing direction like this, okay? So this way, when I'm talking to you guys or talking in videos, you can see all of the stuff that's back here behind me. I kind of angled it a little bit more, I would say, like this today. And this is how I've been doing the shoppable videos as of today. Okay, but I was using a different camera for it. But I'm just kind of giving you guys an idea, a little tighter in framing. But, you know, the objective here is that if you guys want to create content, you can use the space that you're in. You can just find different ways to separate the space, you know, from the other parts of your home or whatever it is, or bedroom. And a lot of times you can just do that with these little, you know, pull-up partitions. Now this one is $219, so definitely check it out, especially if you're looking for, you know, an easy way, you know, to do this. So before, this used to be back here on this back wall, and you guys know I used to always have my curtain lights on back here, and because it was a black backdrop, it really made those colors from the curtain lights really pop. I don't have the curtains lights on right now, but you guys get the idea. All right, so it looks like our laser is done. So let's go over and take a look at what we have, what we've done. So I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek from this angle. I'm gonna set the camera up right here. Let's tilt that down. And now I'm gonna go over and see if it cut all the way through. Let's see what we got. Actually, let me send the laser back to home so it'll be out of the way. All right, let's go back to our top-down view here real quick. All right, guys, check it out. For a $100 laser, this thing is not doing a bad job, guys, not at all. Now, this marking on the back of this wood was already there. What I want you guys to take note of is the fact that it was able to cut this wood with no problems. So that is very, very good. That a 2.5 watt laser is cutting wood, is engraving on this level. I think this is going to be an excellent, excellent Father's Day gift, guys. I mean, just an amazing Father's Day gift. And another thing that a lot of people may not know about lasers is that, check this out. The smaller the laser, let's say it's a 2.5 or 3.5, that means the laser dot is generally going to be smaller. So you're going to get much more precision laser engraving onto surfaces, materials, whatever the case is going to be. I mean, you guys know I have some 10 watt lasers. I have 20 watt lasers. I have, fiber lasers. I have diode lasers. I even got like a 47 watt laser back there on one of my back desks. And yes, they do, excellent work for what they do. But if I was really trying to do, some very detailed work, like one of my business cards or something, I think, that smaller laser is going to give me a better result. It's just going to give me a sharper resolution graphic, guys. So, definitely check this guy out. Don't sleep on this laser, guys. Don't sleep on this laser. Great price for what you're going to get. All right. So we got some new things in the studio. So let me go ahead and turn this little audio interface off. If you guys have any questions about the audio interface, I do now have it. I do now have it near the desk, so I can just reach over and grab it if you still have questions about this. And also these Anchor M650 wireless microphones that we just talked about a few minutes ago. If you have questions about those, go ahead and drop it down in the comments as well. And let's grab our next item now. Most of you guys, who've been following me for some time know that I am a photographer. I do cinematography. I do a lot of those type of projects. And just recently, Godox released this really budget studio strobe or portable strobe. It's basically just a flash that you can either mount directly on your camera, or you can mount it off camera, which is what I prefer. And it does come with a controller or a trigger, okay? So let me show you guys. Let me grab my other trigger back here so I can show you what it looks like. All right. So this right here is one of the Godox triggers that I would use like for a lot of my Godox strobes, my studio strobes, my on-location strobes, and this just mounts right onto the top of the camera, and this is what I use to control the power output of the flashes, the frequency of the flash, all of that kind of jazz. This is what the controller looks like, all right? So I'm gonna keep this on the desk so I can show it to you guys in comparison. All right, so let's pop back down here. So this little budget flash right here is only $59, guys. So in the box, you're going to receive a controller. Now it comes with this little mini controller. Now this is what's called a universal flash. So most of the flashes that we would buy, if you shot Canon or Nikon or Sony or whatever it is, you had to have a specific flash designed for that specific camera. And the connections on here, and I'll show you what they look like. The connections on here are going to be different. You guys see those little circuitry on there? That's what it would look like if you're going to mount this and connect it to one of my Sony cameras, okay? Now, this specific controller is what's called a universal single pin controller. So in theory, this is going to work with any camera that you connect it to. And you even have like channel connections on here that you can switch, for, controlling the flash. But this is the little controller that comes with it. Also in the box, of course, you're going to get, your starter manual and all that. But here is the flash. It does also come with a little table mount so that you can mount the flash. It has a 1/4 underneath it, so you can place this flash pretty much wherever you need to. So if you're doing some product photography, or maybe you're doing a wedding or conference or headshots or whatever, and you want to use a softbox with that flash, bounce card, whatever the case is going to be, this is just going to be an easy way for you to mount the flash onto whatever tripod or stand you're going to be using, okay? It comes with this little felt bag. Not a huge fan of that, but it comes with it. Now, this is the actual flash right here. The head does tilt back, and it also tilts forward 90 degrees. This is rotatable all the way around, 180 degrees, which is really nice. And now what's nice about this is that it does take batteries, or you can use a power supply, okay? So you have over here a plug that you can plug into it. I don't think the plug comes with it, but you can plug in this and power this guy directly off of one of their batteries. But most people are going to power these off of just, your AA batteries. It takes 4 AA batteries to power this. And then this takes like a little watch battery in order to power it as well. So you'll be able to, trigger it with the little button here. It comes with the battery already installed. You just have to pull that little tab right there, to activate it. Now, I haven't had a chance to test this. I'm gonna test this tomorrow morning. I'm gonna do some little sample product shots with it and compare this to one of my other Godox flashes that I use, that is a Sony dedicated flash, and see if there's much of a power difference. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a higher output from my other flash than this, but this will be a great little fill flash, or bounce flash, or hair light flash, or something like that. So yeah, I'm excited to test this. I use a lot of Godox products. When I first started out in photography, guys, the holy grail was like Broncolor and your Pro Photo flashes, and I invested in all those type of flashes starting out. They are very expensive, and when Godox started producing their flashes, their strobes, their continuous lights, guys, it just opened up photography for a lot of people that didn't have the startup cash, to buy those expensive strobes and those expensive continuous lights for video and stuff like that. So this is a win, and I forgot to put that little thing back in there. Shoot. Forgot to put this little thing back in there. Let me see if I can stuff it in there. Get in there. All right, there we go. But anyway, for a budget flash of only $59, I think this is a great starter flash for a lot of photographers out there. So definitely check this out. It is going to work on most cameras. You can look on the product page. It tells you which cameras, which models, which brands this is compatible with. So I would say grab 1, 2, 3 of these, throw them in your camera bag, and you're going to be good to go. You'll thank me. You'll thank me. So yeah, this is going to be a great little portable flash. So definitely check this guy out. All right, let's see what do we got next. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys a couple of things here on my studio desk. So this desk over here where I have the laser at right now, this desk is where I normally shoot a lot of my shoppable videos, my review videos, my how-to videos, and I set everything up over on this desk. And originally, or just recently, the other laser over there, which is the X-Tool laser, was also on this desk. So now I've freed up a lot of space on this desk. There's still some junk on there you guys can see from earlier today, but the laser's on this desk, the batteries are on this desk, and this is a desk that is literally backed up to that black background that we're talking about back there. So I have a couple of things here on the desk that I use, to really separate, products and stuff like that. So let's just say, for instance, I was going to do a video on this laser, okay? So I'd want to separate it a little bit from the background. So I would kind of position this camera. This is not a good example because the camera's so close. Let me see if I can pull it back a little bit so you guys can see that. All right, so now you guys should be able to see the laser back there. So I'm gonna turn a light on in the background just so we can have a little bit of a separation light. Now the light that I'm using is the Beautiful A2 Pro. It is a bicolor light. Let me show it to you guys real quick first. That is this light that you see back here. that has the little honeycomb grid on it. And you can get that guy right now. I think it's, how much is that light? Let me look over here. It is $88.99 for the light. Let me go ahead and just power it on real quick. And now you guys should be able to see there's a little bit of blue light on the background. Black is one of the best colors you can use to add light to a scene. So now you guys can see the light is on and it's casting onto that backdrop, right? So that would be one of the first things I would turn on before I even turn on the main lights. I would turn on those background lights and just start measuring everything out. Now, another light that I have, I'm gonna skip something real quick here. Another light that I have is this light. Let me grab it and show it to you guys. That would be this light right here, okay? Now, the light itself is just a flashlight looking component of it, but this is like a continuous light. It comes with a bunch of gobos. It comes with this little snoot, and the gobos are basically a bunch of different shapes that are cut out of plastic, and you can use all of these different shapes to project light onto a background, okay? So you have a variety of different shapes you can choose, all of these different ones that you can go through. This comes with like 20, 25 different, patterns that you could use for a background light. Now, I have other lights that do basically the same thing, but this has got to be the smallest, most compact version of one of these lights. Now, the disadvantage to this light is that it is only 10 watts, okay? So it does need to be pretty close to whatever it is that you're going to be putting the light on. So to turn the light on, you have a little button right here on the side. You're just going to press and hold that like so, and you'll get the little green light that comes on, and then it's a trick to turning this guy on. You're just going to rotate this dial really fast like that, and then it should turn the light on. Let me see if I can get it. Did it come on? Or I turned it off, my bad. Turn it back on, then rotate it really quick, and that turns the light on, okay? So now we're going to take this light and also put it on the background wall, and we'll switch over so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. So I'm projecting what looks like, a window or some type of light color pattern. Now that blue light is kind of washing it out a little bit, but you guys get the idea, right? So now I can have something else behind this. I can also rotate this. I can rotate this a little bit. I can lower the angle of it or whatever it is, and just kind of, really just build something out in the background. Okay, so the reason why I'm showing you guys these lights first is to show you what happens after we add some atmosphere or some haze to the effect, right? Now, the way I create the haze is with another product. And let's go back here real quick, and let's go ahead and highlight this product as well. And that's going to be this little fog machine that you guys see here in my hands. Now, this comes with two heads. You have this head right here with the little built-in LED light and the fan. It also comes with this little adjustable neck. It comes with a filter. The filter is what you would use if you want to do like the dry ice effect. This one right here just produces like a bunch of fog. And let me just go ahead and connect this on here so I can show you guys how this works. So it just pops on with magnets. And then once you power this on, this little center button right here, the little LCD will turn on, letting you know that you've connected and you turned it on. Now this section down here also has a fan built into it, and it has a little button right here. It looks almost like a little trigger that you can rotate this into like a 60-degree kind of angle. And, if you need it to kind of go over something, that'll be great, because then it's going to, it's not going straight up and then down. Now it's just going to kind of project it forward. So anyway, you have this little orientation to everything. You have a fog button right here. Now, on the LCD, you can determine how strong the fan is and how much fog is going to come out, even with this head right here not being on it, right? But when you add this head to it, now there's an additional fan inside of this head that you can raise and turn on. I'm gonna put it close to the microphone so you guys can hear it. You guys hear that fan? Okay. So now I can, press the little M button one more time. It's gonna turn green. Now what I can do is turn on the LED light, right? So by just pressing one of those buttons here, I can change the light color to pretty much whatever colors you want. You know, it's an RGB light. So let's try to get something close to purple or blue or something like that. So now we have a blue light. So now if I press the trigger button, we're gonna get fog and that blue light, okay? So now we got the fog and the blue light, which works out great, especially if you want to put it in the background, you know, to add a little haze or atmosphere. So that, you know, you're using it like if you're working maybe in natural light, you got sunlight coming through a window. You just want to put a little haze in the room just to make it look more cinematic. This is an excellent, excellent way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy off and I'm going to put the other head back on and show you guys what you would use this for. Now this is what's going to create your dry ice effect. There's a lot of different effects you can come up with this. You just kind of use your imagination. I use the dry ice effect a lot. Richard says I use it way too much, which is probably true. But anyway, let me show you how I'd use it. Okay, so with this camera right where it's at, I'm going to adjust this just a little bit so you guys can see it. Let me move some of these things out of the way. All right, so let's say I wanted to really show off this this laser. I want it to look, you know, really cinematic. Then I can just come in here and I can just start laying down some fog. And I can bring that fog around, in front, off to the side, whatever. And now we got this cool fog effect, you know, for the first part, first few seconds of the video. And then you want to let it rest because, you know, come on. It's sometimes you wind up with too much fog because I go in abundance, you know what I'm saying? But you guys get the idea. As I back off of this a little bit, you can kind of see how that fog is still kind of lingering on the desk. And it's going to take it a few minutes for it to complete, you know, dissipate. But it has a lot of cool effects, things that you can do with this product, guys. It is only $129. Shout out to Gina Capone over on TikTok. My Gina Capone is on TikTok. What it do, fam? You know I ain't seen you in a hot minute. Richard says you over there on the TikTok. You need to come over here on Amazon and hang out with your peeps. Man, if y'all don't know who Gina Capone is old school GOAT. She's been doing this Amazon thing long before Rome ever graced the Amazon waves. She's been doing it for a very long time, guys. Her shows are amazing, good content, very personable person. She's easy to talk to. She does a lot of, you know, interacting with the comments and the people on the stream. I love that about her. You pop into her stream, she's gonna welcome you. And I'm telling you, we need us some more Gina Capone back in our life. You know what I'm saying? You need to come on back over here and do what you do, sis. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna put this this fog machine up, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little fog here on my microphone just because I can. Okay, Richard. So I'm just gonna drop a little fog right here on the microphone just because I can, Richard. All right, let me go ahead and turn this thing off, y'all. You know, it's funny. I have had this thing for months now, and I have not added any more fog juice to this since I got it. And I'm just looking in through the little window, and it's still got almost a full tank of fog juice. Now, when you first buy this, it comes with a 60 milliliter of fog juice, and I barely used any of this. And I use this fog machine almost every single day in almost every different video that I do. So, yeah, this right here is a bargain. Okay, this is in Rome's top 10 things that you might want to have to take your productions to the next level. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's see what else we got. We got a couple of items left in the carousel. Let me go ahead and talk about these real quick. Let me turn this thing off because y'all know I forget to turn stuff off. All right, where is my little, oh shoot. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, reorganizing your studio, if you can avoid that, do it, okay? Because you do not want to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. But it's just a mess. It's just stuff, you know. Okay, I digress. I got to go way over there now and get this box so I can show you guys this next product. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop you guys down here on, let's see, what is the camera looking at? Y'all look at the laser for a minute. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Richard, I'm watching you. I'm watching you, Richard. Oh, shoot. All right. I got it. I got it. All right. All right, let's go back to the top down. Let me grab my headphones back here and show you guys this cool little speaker. All right, guys, so this speaker right here in this case is not the speaker. This is the case that the speaker comes in. This is from a company called Mosin. It is $74.99 right now, down from, I think it was $89.99 or something like that a little while ago. But anyway, really, really nice speaker. Let's check this out. Let's go ahead and pop this guy open. So check it out. I know what you guys are thinking. Wow, what a big case. What a big case for such a small speaker. I know, that's what I thought when I first opened this thing. I was looking for like another box or something to show up, and this is just like a model of the speaker, and there was going to be a bigger version of this speaker, you know, that comes with it. It just hadn't arrived yet, you know, so I'm just like, I don't know, where's the other speaker? And then I did some research, and I found out this was it. This is it right here. Right here, y'all. But don't let the size fool you. Ask Richard. Don't let the size fool you. This guy right here is all metal. It's got these nice little rubberized feet underneath here. It's got kind of that World War II aesthetic to it with the grills and the metal dials. It's got a little light built in. It has like an SOS sound effect that it makes when you first turn it on, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you guys can hear that little sound effect. Let me see if it'll play it again. Do it again. Nah, I said do it again. It won't do it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it to do the sound effect again. Hold on. Yep, that's the little sound effect. It's going to do it a couple of times. But then you got the little flashing light up here. This does use USB-C to charge it, which is really nice. I believe their older version used micro USB, so it's really nice to see that they upgraded to the full USB on this guy. This guy is solid metal, guys. I'm telling you, it's got a really nice metal lanyard holder right here. You can clip this onto a backpack or Richard's rollerblade fanny pack, and he'd just be rolling down the road with this thing just banging into his hip while he's roller skating or whatever he does. But yeah, this thing, and man, I'm telling y'all, don't let the size fool you. This thing got some serious bass drivers. You get clear mid-tones, bass, and treble out of this little speaker. Now, of course, because we're on Amazon and YouTube, and you know, copyright is an issue, so I can't play any music for you guys over this right now, but take my word for it, this guy sounds amazing. And this is definitely, if you have one of these, it's going to be a conversation starter. So if you're looking for a way, you know, to entice your friends to talk about some new tech or something like that, or you just want to impress new people, I'm telling you guys, set this down at a little coffee shop, start playing your little tunes, and people be like, what is that little thing? How is all of that sound coming out of that little tiny speaker? You like, it's magic. It's magic. You have to go to Hogwarts to get the spell to be able to power this speaker, because without the magic spell, then it doesn't do anything. It's just a paperweight. It's just a paperweight. No, it's not. No, it's not. This thing is the business, okay? It's the business. And y'all know I got some serious speakers here in the studio. Y'all know this. You know that I got the Soundcore Motion Boom 2 that'll blow your eardrum, knock your ears right out the side of your head. And if I'm telling you this little speaker right here has got that bass, it's got that bass.
Babies, you can believe me. It put that bass in your face. It put that
boom in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like boom, baby, boom, boom. That's right. Mm-hmm. Wake all the babies up, okay? Wake all the babies up in the whole neighborhood.
But you already know, you ain't gonna make no friends if you bring in that boom at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's right.
All right, y'all. So that is this little speaker right here. All right, so we got a couple of drones. You guys know I talk about my drones all the time. I talk about, you know, commercial drone flying and stuff like that. So let me just grab this drone back here and the controller. I'm not going to fly the drone, Richard. I'm not going to fly the drone, Richard, in the studio, okay? But anyway, this is the Air 3S. I received it with the Fly More combo. So you get the Air 3S, you get the controller. You also get 3 batteries in this kit, as well as, what else comes with it? What else came with it? I can't remember. 3 batteries, the controller, and the drone. Yeah, and the travel bag. So it comes with a bag as well. I don't know what I did with the bag. I think I must have put the bag out in the garage. But anyway, beautiful drone. This guy can fly up to 60 miles an hour, guys. 60 miles an hour with this guy. 4K, 60 frames a second. Slow motion, 120 frames a second. It's got a ton of smart features like tracking modes and all that kind of cool stuff. Boom, it's got 360-degree obstacle avoidance on this. You have 2 cameras. You have a 24 millimeter camera and a 70 millimeter camera built into this guy. You're going to get some very, very high quality images. You have almost a 50 megapixel sensor for this guy as well. The 24 millimeter equivalent camera is a 1-inch sensor, so you're going to get really, really good video and photo quality from this. So whether you're doing commercial video, whether you're doing, you know, recreational video, whatever the case is going to be, you are going to be very, very happy with this kit. So again, I will not be flying the drone in the studio because Richard is waiting for me to do it because he knows what happened last time I tried to fly this drone in the studio, and it was not a pretty experience because the drone got stuck up on the ceiling because the obstacle avoidance wouldn't let me bring it down because there was so many things down here on the floor, so it would not come down. So I had to climb up there and I literally grab this thing out of the air. So no, we will not be flying this drone in the studio, Richard. But if you're interested in this drone right now, I see the price has come down significantly in comparison to where the price was just a week ago. So right now you can get this guy for $16.49, and that is the full bundle, guys. The full, you know, kit and caboodle, as they like to say. So yeah, definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. All right. So we have one more drone. Now this drone I will fly in the studio because it's much smaller and it can't do too much damage if it crashes into something. But that is this little drone right here. These are from our friends over at 00 Robotics. Now this is the Air X1 foldable flying camera. That's what they like to call it. Now this one has like a 2-axis gimbal, where the other drone back there has a 3-axis gimbal. I guess you could call that a 2-axis gimbal. Now this has a complete grid all around it, cage all around the propellers, so that, you know, you don't have to worry about your fingers getting trapped in there. Or if it flies into, you know, something or someone, it won't do any damage because the propellers can't make contact. You have 2 control buttons on the very front here. This first button here is going to be your power button, and that's going to be for turning the drone on. I don't think I have enough battery power to fly this drone. And so I got like one dot. And I don't know if it's going to be enough power to fly it. So I'm going to try to fly it. And see what happens. But it's sketchy. And I don't know what I did with the charger. It was on this desk, but it has since moved somewhere. And you guys know I lose things in here all the time. It's probably back there now on those shelves or somewhere back there. I'm just looking to see if I see it. No, I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and try to fly it as it is. I'm just going to press this one time, see if it'll fly. 30 seconds. Hover. All right, there we go. You guys can see it. You guys can see it right there, hovering in the studio. And then when I'm ready to land it, all I have to do is bring my hand right here, and it will land right in my palm, just like so. You have a bunch of different modes, guys, for this guy. You can go through the product page and take a look at it. This is going to be a great little travel drone, a little weekend get out and just have some fun drone. There is a controller. Now it is compatible with one of their more advanced controllers. So if you want to experience that full type of drone flight with a controller, with a little screen, this could be something you guys might want to take a look at. And it is foldable, guys. So it folds up really neatly. You can put this in a camera bag or your pocket or whatever the case is going to be. So definitely check this guy out. Now, right now, the drone with the battery and the charger is $298.99. So definitely check it out. It is definitely a worthwhile investment. I have had a ton of fun with this little drone. So if you guys haven't seen some of the videos I've done with this, you know, taking it over to the lake by my house and flying it over there. I wasn't worried about this drone flying off or something like that. It's just, it's very reliable. It does what it's, you know, advertised to do. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And yes, in case somebody wants to know, Hover Air did send this drone to me, but I would probably have bought this drone with my own money. So, you know, there you go. All right, we only got one thing left in the carousel, and then it's going to be time for me to wrap it up for the night because Smokey is having a fit. I still plan on making a cake. I still got to make dinner. So I got to go, my babies. But anyway, last item in the carousel are these drawstring backpacks. Now, you guys know I talk about these drawstring backpacks all the time. They can be used for a variety of different things. You could use these as, you know, reusable shopping bags, storage bags, all that kind of cool jazz. Oh, and by the way, Christine is going to be live at 9 o'clock over on the Govee channel. So if you guys want to keep the party going, go over and, you know, say hello, check her out. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Hold on, give me a second before I close the stream out. Let me shut some stuff down so I can see where my where my browser is. All right, so we're gonna go. Let me see if I can find her upcoming stream. And like I said, she should be live on Govee tonight at 9 p.m. unless she's already live and I just got the time mixed up. So give me a second here. I don't know why this is taking so long to load, guys. Hold on. Hold on. All right, so while that's loading, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys about this. Anyway, these drawstring backpacks you can get right here on Amazon, guys, for only $11.99. And what I love about these is that they are easily multi-purposable things that you can use them for. Now, of course, myself, my motorcycle club, other organizations I'm affiliated with, including HOAs and you know, schools and stuff, I've inspired them to use these backpacks to create things for the homeless. So you can take one of these backpacks, guys, and you can fill them with a bunch of items that you get right here on Amazon, and you'll be able to share them with, you know, people in the homeless community. So if you know you live in an area where you encounter a bunch of homeless people and you always see them out there maybe with a sign asking for food, asking for help, fill those backpacks up, guys. You can find a lot of those same items that we use right here on Amazon: toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, toilet paper, all of that kind of jazz. So definitely, do what you can, guys, on a daily basis to make this world a better place. And I know it might seem like it's overwhelming sometimes, like it's just so much to do, so many things going on. Don't let that stop you, guys. Don't let that depress you. Don't let that, make you feel like it's just an unachievable, goal is to be able to do those things for other people, because it is not. I'm telling you, you will bring joy and light into their lives with just the slightest little of effort. And of course, I get it. There's an investment there. So, get other people involved, guys. Get your church involved. Get your coworkers involved. Get your family and friends involved. Get, your school involved, to purchasing items every month that you can build out these little backpacks. And then as you're out and about running around, doing the things you do, enjoying your life, your world, you could have a couple of those backpacks. And then, if you run into someone at a gas station or at a convenience store or at, possibly at a stoplight or something like that, you could just share some love with them, guys. It's literally that simple. All right, my babies, it's time for me to wrap it up for the night. Y'all know it is about that time for me to drop it. All right, guys, I'd like to thank everyone for stopping in over on TikTok, over on Facebook, over here on Amazon, as well as on YouTube. I want to welcome you all to the Rome Knows Tech family. Yeah, y'all hear Smokey over there. Smokey ready to eat, y'all. Smokey's ready to eat. He's like, what is taking so long? You about 30 minutes past your due time, Rome. You are 30 minutes past your time, and I'm about to lose my mind. Y'all know how he gets. But anyway, I want to thank you all for stopping in. I want to welcome, I see Phil. PC Phil is over there on, looks like over there on YouTube right now. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. All I can say to you guys is be a good human, guys. You know, try to pay it forward. Do something good in the world every single day. Be a good human. Be a good human, my babies. All right, y'all, it's time for me to say them magic words, peace, peace, and blue muffin grease. Somebody asked me the other day, what is blue muffin grease, and why do you talk about this blue muffin? Well, for those who might not have been around long enough to know, Christina Nietzsche used to be, like Gina Capone, one of the old school streamers here on Amazon and other platforms. And Christina used to bake and cook and do things on her stream. And when it was someone's birthday, she would make a cake for them. She'd make a pie for them or whatever they requested. I am still 2.5 years later, still waiting for that apple pie to be delivered. Alan told me to just give up on it, but Alan, I'm not going to give up, Alan. I'm not going to give up on that pie, Alan. That apple pie looked amazing, and I'm just... Namaste. Okay, anyway. But anyway, Christina used to do all them cool things over on her stream. So one night Christina was in the stream, and I asked, somebody, and I think we picked Christina to give me something to create for the night. So she said a blue muffin. Now, well, it wasn't a blue muffin. She said a muffin. So let me tell y'all the quick story about the muffin so y'all know the whole story. Well, from watching Christina streams all the time, and Christina be baking and cooking and, cutting up meat and doing all the stuff that Christina does and working out in the gym. And, Christina Nietzsche. If you don't know who she is, Google her. But anyway, Christina inspired me to want to start baking again. So I decided one day I was going to make some muffins. Okay. So anyway, I was in the kitchen, the way we do. I was trying to make my muffins. So I, use my batter and I'll follow the instructions, I thought, and I put it all in the oven. And then all of a sudden, Alexa says, or Siri says, the time was up. So I'm like, ooh, I was so excited. I'm so excited. And I ran up in there and I put the mitt on and I pulled the tray of muffins out. And I was like, what happened? Did Ant-Man come by? Did somebody shrink my muffins? Now, the muffins should have been bigger than this. But for some reason, they were tiny. Okay? They were tiny, y'all.
I mean, they were some tiny muffins. Okay? But I'm going to tell y'all one thing you can be assured of.
Yes, I ate them. I ate them with no problem whatsoever. Yes, I did. But anyway, so that's where the story comes from. Christina wanted a muffin, so all I had was some blue filament. So I printed a muffin for Christina, and then somehow I started saying the same thing at the end of each stream, and it just stuck with us. I remember one time I lost this muffin under my desk. Don't ask. Richard, don't tell. But anyway, I lost the muffin, and people were freaking out because they weren't used to me closing the stream any other way than what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say right now, peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom. Make sure you follow Richard over there on TikTok, because if you want to see some amazing bloopers, you're not going to see them anywhere else unless you follow my man Richard over on TikTok. All right, my babies, I will see y'all back here in 48 hours doing what we do. Hopefully there'll be some new stuff in here to unbox and talk about and demo. Don't forget about that laser, guys. That's a great Father's Day gift. Don't sleep on that laser. But anyway, I gots to go. Love y'all, my babies, but I am out.